This is Lost Electronics. Today, we're going to go ahead and go through a. This is going to be about the PFsense versus the new compared to the Opnsense. So this is they had a request on one of the comments I had was what is the difference between these two different firewalls, Opnsense versus PFsense here. You can see here these are the two different community editions here. So we're going to go ahead and start out with just going through our dashboard, our licensing, pass or log out, health integration, net flow, settings, traffic, system. We'll go ahead and go through the couple different filters here, and then we'll go ahead and go through the PFSense so you can kind of see here. Dashboard on this one, and we're going to go to our system, and we're going to go to our main dashboard on our the PFSense here. So this is the dashboard. You can see here just basically here's the two different stats between what I'm doing here. Here's all our filters, what we're running, login groups, DNS. These are our system resources being used between different of them here. So we can see the differences right here. Licensing here from this one. Community support on this. We want to do passwords here. Let's go ahead and go health and reporting. We're going to go ahead and go to system. General setup. Certification manager. So you can see there's quite a few different. Here's the differences here. These are all the different interfaces, statuses here, different services, the VPN, different firewall sets, interfaces, diagnostics, interfaces, interfaces. So you can see it has some similarities, but it's a little bit different here from what they're having here. Commands, so you can see that we can run here. Services, VPN clients, interfaces, systems, ROS trusted diagnostics, services. So they're very similar. They have there's IDS systems in both. They have both there now. Which one's going to have a little bit more community here? I'm going to have to see the PFSense. But these are the two different layouts here. You can see they have a completely different layouts. Which one has a nicer layout and easier to set up? I'd have to say probably I still would go with PFSense as I enjoy a little bit better setting up. Which easier probably to use probably would be Opnsense. Which one's more powerful? I would say definitely PFSense. And who's going to have the bigger community? PFSense. And which is easier to one to set up after we get it set up? Probably is going to be PFSense again. At least it's my personal view on to the differences. Here's just kind of a quick rundown. We're just going to go to each tab here: System, Advanced. So you can see there's a little bit of differences between them, but very similar in how they function and how they're laid out and the software layouts, and they have a lot of the same functionality. Which one can you have more? PFSense Firewall has a lot more plugins you can download. They both IDS, so they use a Suricata, but this one has can use PFSense can use Snort too. Um, they're both open source, really easy to use. So it's just there's from what I can say, there's not really much. We went through a little bit of PFSense last time here, so just what's the kind of the differences here? There's not really that's terribly much differences here for. We want to kind of look at the firewall. Then we can also look at this here. We can also pull a new tab here in a moment. Let's go ahead and kind of layout kind of differences. If you want to see how like the layout of each of these are slightly different here. Firewall built in here, IDS system built in here. So if you like again, if you want to go to kind of compare firewall settings, firewall routing and roles. So you'll notice that there is basically all there. Shows all the virtual machines, everything I'm using in my actual UDM Pro. Kind of shows kind of the verses between how the layouts are, at least a little bit. So it's some of the things that kind of shows you UDM versus PFSense versus Opnsense. They're very easy to use. So it's kind of on a comparison because we got one. We have our UDM Pro, which is based off of Debian. We got and then we got free VSDs, which is both that we're using for the images for both PFSense Firewall and Opnsense. going to see the two different virtual machines. These are the layouts on the virtual machine and kind of set it up. So these are the capabilities of there. This is just going to use this. These are just test machines. I'm going to be deleting them here after I get done with it, but this just kind of shows you that what you have here and the virtual machine set up, and you can do resets, and you can have the IP, and it kind of shows you what you can add back in. So this is just the two difference on there. We'll go to videos and eventually test these things. We'll go ahead and I'll go and spin up a either a Kali image and Black Arch, and we'll have some fun testing some tools and see if we can go and see if we can throw these firewalls after get them all set up and configured, and see if we can get them to catch it, and we'll see what's getting filtered out, and see if we can throw under the sun and see what it actually picks up or not, and have fun kind of looking in the test between these two, because again, the firewall in IDS systems is only as good as it protects. So these are things that just kind of give you a comparison between each of what we're actually seeing, and kind of updates, and just a good easy way to kind of get a comparison of Opnsense versus PFsense versus of course is not going to be a fair comparison, but UDM firewall there. So it does give us a lot of opportunities and a lot of different options we can use, and we're going to keep on improving. We'll keep on having everybody have feedback. I want to keep on trying there. I'm going to try to download some of the other common firewalls. We'll spin them up in virtual machines, and we'll go through them and see kind of what the differences are and see what the kind of there. But really, until we actually start spinning up and start using a tool to see if we get it to act like we're taking one virtual machine attack to another to kind of show them what happens with an attack is not going to be a there's not really going to be much that is going to too much change. It's I can't really say much on this. It looks like it's just very easy way just to kind of compare, kind of break down, and go. We're gonna have a lot of future use videos. We've already went through a lot of these things. Black Arch, we've went through how to install, and we're gonna have those things. They're gonna be future video series, we're gonna kind of have a kind of like a mashup to everything here. What we've went through here, not only with the updates with UDM Pro, which you're going to have though there, and some Linux software, but we're going to go ahead and see what happens with. Let's go ahead and use Kali versus Parrot versus Black Arch. Let's go ahead and take a look at what kind of tools what can we go ahead and to explain on the firewall side, and see if we can be able to get through. See if we can get through our security, because again, we're only going to be as good as what kind of security we set up. How can we look at rules maybe to try to prevent it, because we want to kind of place from both sides of it, because again, be able to know how to protect against attack is knowing how to do the attack. So again, those are things that we'll have future series we'll get to here. Today we're just kind of comparing firewalls here. We'll go ahead and eventually go and set up between these two and look at different rule sets, and we'll go ahead and go through different ways we can be able to set up these rule sets here, and we'll go ahead and see what happens when we go and try to test and run an nmap scan with something simple to each other to see if we can do it. We'll have firewall battles and see how they can handle against between the two of them. Again, the see there, and kind of look at what kind of difference, because we can already look at what kind of layout differences are, but what kind of customizations can we do? How's the server differences? What can we do differently on each of these things? What's going to make one a PFsense compared to Opnsense, and why is probably PFsense a little bit easier? It's not really easier, a little hard to set up, but a lot more options to be able to do. And how's the login, and which one, and for your experience, which one would you like to be able to use? Is it going to have a problem? Is if I start running heavy traffic through that, is that going to slow down my network traffic because I go use one firewall to compare to another? Is my rule set changes differently, or if I have an IDS compared to not having an IDS, how's that going to affect my bandwidth trying to run these things? So these are things we're going to be going through, and we got a lot of future use videos here. This is kind of here's the difference between these two different firewalls, and kind of run through just kind of the basics. Again, I'm not an expert on anything, but again, I'm just going to show my views, and anytime I find some helpful information, or people leave comments about what do you think about this, and what kind of views you have on different firewall sets, the easiest way to be able to get those is let's go ahead and experiment with them. Let's go ahead and try to let's go ahead and try to set up a simulated attack this, see what it does, and let's go ahead and a good time to be able to see what we can be able to do. And we'll have to spin up a couple virtual machines and see if we can exploit a system that's one of these hardware firewalls behind, and see if it actually will work, or see if it can protect it. So if we can can we go ahead and virtually look at maybe put in some Wireshark? Can we see these attacks coming through? And how does it look through the two different systems? Or there's a lot of things we could be able to do in the future here. It's I want to go and take some input on some there based off of feedback here. I want to keep on posting my videos up anytime I see anything I think could be helpful or any kind of topics. We'll also go and look at it and see, is this how well is this going to protect against your smart home? What happens if you have a rogue device on a smart home? Can we see that? Can we look at rules? Maybe we can set up to kind of alert us of, hey, why is my smart light bulb trying to attack my network? Or hey, why is my toaster trying to go and send out to Tor? Those are things that might be kind of important to know what's going on with your smart home. I don't have any smart toasters, but just using kind of a strange example. So this is Lost Electronics, and we'll keep on having future videos. And if you like what you're seeing here and you want to keep on supporting this channel, please click on the subscribe button so I know you like the content and we keep on growing. And we'll keep on see what options we have, the more and more content we have. I also have, if anybody wants to see it, also have videos on, is going to be product reviews. I have some basic ones coming up here. I got a new keyboard and mouse that work really wonderful. That's a mechanical keyboard. I got a projector review that I got it from Amazon. It's very inexpensive. That was really good. I'm going to probably put that on one of there. I'm going to probably just make a whole new video channel just on to product reviews. And we're going to go ahead and probably at least I don't know about a whole new channel, but at least have it break down off of my main one so it doesn't kind of clog up the main feed. But I'll probably make make a subsection of a just go and playlist about what we can be able to do here. So I got some videos coming up about that here. So we'll go ahead and go make a kind of a compilation of videos between it, because again, there's no point of showing about a firewall if we don't utilize it. So these are just kind of comparisons. These are my own opinions. I don't have any sponsorships. I'm not making any funds off of this. This is just me going in here and giving my personal opinion here and looking at it. Knowing more protection and more open source software we kind of get out there is better off we're going to be. I got two of these were open sources. One's closed source, and some are partly closed source because you have to pay for something. It's not really that open because it's more a product than there, because everyone can contribute to it. But if you depend on what you're trying to do with it, can make a big difference. So. I like the other community editions. We'll go through other community editions here on some of the other firewalls I see in the top 10s, and we'll go through those and show the difference between them. And then we'll go ahead and again, one time we'll have, after doing all the reviews on the firewalls, we'll start going and start testing them. And then we'll give an opinion on, we'll make a list of what works, what doesn't, and how to maybe protect, or maybe if anybody else has any ideas what rule sets we should just to be able to test on so we can have an environment. We'll definitely be more open to them, and we'll try to go and try to create some scenarios. I know we're not doing hack-a-box, but at least it gives us a good indication that we're mainly trying to work together to there, because I know if anybody's interested in what the comparison between these firewalls are, probably interested in how they work. So I'm going to sign off on this video here, and thank you again for supporting my channel, and keep on viewing this content, and we'll go ahead and we're going to work on this video this week, and we'll have a couple of them coming next week.